Palpatine returned again.
Any clothes that would maybe be around are just ugly. She's like,
I'd rather just be obvious.
I'll take my chances, thanks.
We're going to find out that Ezra left behind like a Noti wife and child.
Oh.
He fell deeply in love on Peridia. What's up, everyone, and welcome to Last Week in Star Wars. I'm Alex.
I'm Molly.
We got some little tidbits to talk about this last week about Ahsoka Season 2. Bryce Dallas Howard at a convention confirmed that she is directing 2 episodes this season. I think that's true for all of the directors across the board.
Yeah, it sounds like there will be 8 episodes. This early in the game, we don't know if IMDb is completely accurate, but it does say that Bryce Dallas Howard has episodes 4 and 5.
I think that's kind of how a lot of these streaming shows have been working, is that not necessarily they'll have their episodes back to back, but like Peyton Reed did 2 episodes of The Mandalorian Season 2. And so, yeah, this is a little different from how Ahsoka Season 1 was, where it had more directors, I think. And so, but yeah, I'm just glad that Bryce is going to be doing 2 episodes in a season, which is the first time that's happened.
We've loved all of her episodes that she's done so far. If I had to throw out a random guess about like what her episodes might be about, I would guess training with Ahsoka and Sabine. I don't think Filoni is going to let anyone else touch like the Mortis gods or the World Between Worlds or like the big stuff like that. But I wonder if her stuff will be more focused on Ahsoka, Sabine, what's going on in Peridia.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think like Anakin is going to be in her episodes. I don't think the Mortis gods will be. Whatever they're doing with Mortis and all I think Filoni is going to save the big mystical stuff from the Clone Wars for his episodes. Which, again, this is like IMDb. We don't know if that's accurate or not, but it looks like he's got the premiere and the finale.
That makes sense. Maybe the premiere will just go big and we'll go straight into Mortis.
It might. I mean, I would love it if they finally showed us what Baylan Skoll is up to.
Yeah.
I feel like they teased it all of Ahsoka Season 1.
That was the last scene, wasn't it? Or one of the last scenes of Baylan.
Right, him looking off into the distance, standing on that statue. And Filoni put out a sketch of Sabine and Ahsoka in that same spot. So I feel like they're going to be on his trail. There was a quote from that convention where Bryce said, "I just finished shooting 2 episodes this summer for Ahsoka Season 2. It's so good. It's beautiful. It's thrilling. It's adventurous. It's romantic. It's all the things you wanted from an epic story."
Sounds great.
The word romantic got a lot of people speculating and hyped up online, specifically wondering if like love stories would be involved. I'm not necessarily taking the quote in that way. Romantic can mean a lot of things. It just means like emotional and big and sweeping and epic. Yeah,
let's tap into our literary mind and maybe don't assume that the word romantic means there will be a relationship specifically.
Yeah, it can mean that, but it doesn't have to mean that.
Right. I mean, if it
I'm
does...
not trying to shut down any of the shippers out there. Like, if Shin Sabine happens, what are they calling it? Wolfrin?
Wolfrin.
Okay, if that happens, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm just not taking this quote to mean specifically that.
I mean, that's the only thing close to a romantic relationship that I can think of for that show.
We're going to find out that Ezra left behind like a Noti wife and child.
Oh.
He fell deeply in love on Peridia.
Her Skeleton Crew episode was really, really good. And it was more focused in close on like specific relationships between the characters. So
that was my favorite episode maybe of the season. That was the one where I went from like, I'm enjoying this to, oh, like, this is great.
Yeah.
The kids, the cast, it really all came together for me. So I've loved that episode.
I guess that's what made me think of, like, some smaller, more intimate moments between Ahsoka and Sabine.
Yeah, even if it's a slower episode, in the sense that there's not a whole lot of action happening, but just, like, some dramatic talks and conversations between Thrawn and whoever he's hanging out with, the Night Sisters, or Baylan Skoll and Ahsoka once they catch up to him. I don't know. Like, I feel like she could direct some really great, tense conversations.
Yeah.
But she also does action great too. So, like, I'm sure it'll be a good mix. But the episode she did in season 2 of Mando and her Book of Boba Fett episode, just all of those were bangers.
What was her Boba Fett episode?
The one with the Mandalorian in it.
Okay.
So yeah, the Mandalorian's going to somehow be on Peridia.
Oh God.
That's how this is going to go down. So I'm actually in the middle of rereading the original Legends Thrawn trilogy. I'm in Dark Force Rising right now. And it's funny that they're just kind of finding out, oh my gosh, a Grand Admiral is back. And they didn't know he was out there. And Akbar is like gearing up to fight him. And I'm like, I just happened to be like right at the spot today in the books where Ahsoka season 2 is probably going to head, where the New Republic is like, uh-oh, this is a big danger for us all.
I guess I didn't realize that went down in Legends, like that Akbar actually fought Thrawn.
Yeah, I mean, not in a fist fight, but
well, no.
I know it's the way I put it. It kind of sounded
they
like
they get their ships out and they go
right. Right now, there's a lot of drama going on in the New Republic in Legends, where there's a senator who is very similar to Xiono in Ahsoka that I feel like Xiono has kind of taken the spot of Borsk Phalia the Bothan. Yeah, I'm just enjoying rereading this and seeing little parallels where I'm like, oh, this could be that. And I don't think Ahsoka and Filoni's movie are going to be like a one-to-one translation of the Thrawn trilogy, but I can definitely see the inspirations.
Yeah, I'm just really excited to see what they do with the Night Sisters and how they come into the mix.
I am too, and I already have some theories that they might be replacing the Nogri in this situation, where they are viewing Thrawn as an ally now, but they might turn on him. That's kind of the arc of the Nogri in Legends.
Are those the little guys?
The little guys like Rook?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I was thinking of the Salamiri.
Oh, no, yeah. I don't think they're going to come into the story.
So there's more than one Rook?
Well, there's only one Rook, but
Right.
he's a Nogri, and there are several of them.
Okay. Yeah, that would be neat.
So yeah, I'm wondering if the Night Sisters might take the place of them. There are some parallels where they're working with the Empire, and they could kind of maybe connect the dots and be like, hold on, the Empire really spawned from the Sith, and they massacred our people. And we've been under the impression that you are on our side, and maybe they won't feel that way for long.
Yeah, I'm sure Thrawn has been giving them promise after promise of what he's going to do to help them rebuild Dathomir and all that kind of stuff, and we know that's not going to happen.
Well, there was one shot in the season 1 finale where he opens fire on the temple as they're leaving, and one of the Great Mothers gives him a look. And I probably latched onto that harder than I should have, but I was like,
she didn't like that.
Not happy about that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that could be some foreshadowing. I was going to twist our talk about the Thrawn trilogy and Ahsoka into some Starfighter talk, because people have been theorizing that Amy Adams will be playing Mara Jade. And yeah, I don't think so. Or I should say, I hope not.
Have we learned nothing, Star Wars fans?
Remember when Jyn Erso was revealed and she had brown hair and everyone was like, oh, it's Rey's mom.
Yep.
Like,
don't just take the hair color and attach it to a character. It seems like Amy Adams' character is going to be the mom to this kid, and we know the kid ends up with Ryan Gosling, and it's probably, the movie is going to probably surround the two of them. We don't know how involved Amy Adams is going to be. I'm guessing that she's not like front and center main character status. So why would we bring Mara Jade into canon for the first time in this big movie and have her not be
front and center
main character? Like, she needs that kind of treatment if we're going to go there.
I agree. Like, I feel like this would just be kind of a letdown if at some point Amy Adams just is like, here's my son. By the way, my name's Mara Jade. I'd be like,
yeah.
Okay.
And
like
then
this
she
isn't...
dies.
This isn't how I wanted to see Mara. I want to see her with main character energy.
Right.
And
because she's got such an interesting story in Legends, at least. And so if they're going to adapt that, don't make it a little tiny sideline plot for this movie about other stuff.
Right. It's kind of like Corran Horn being named in Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was just a kid. I did enjoy that. I love my X-Wing books. But ultimately, all that amounts to is fan service.
Right.
Like, I can't really sit here and be like, well, Corran Horn is canon. I mean, his name is, but like everything he did is canon. Like, if Amy Adams played Mara Jade here, it seems like it would just be in name only and in hair color.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, what about the rest of your story?
Yeah, we wouldn't see anything connecting her to Luke. So is that going to be Luke's child?
Right. And if we found out all of that after the fact, that would just not feel good to me.
Yeah, it just seems like too much to go into for this movie. So no, I do not think she's playing Mara Jade. I don't know where that rumor came from.
I think a lot of it is wishful thinking, hopeful thinking. You know, people like Mara Jade. I do too, and want her to pop up. But if she's going to pop up, I want it to be a significant role. Of course, we might be wrong. Like, maybe she will be front and center in this movie, and we just don't know.
Yeah, I guess we don't know. But you're right. Like, if the people who are, taking this rumor more seriously are doing it because they love the character of Mara Jade, just take a second and think, is this where you want to see her come in as potentially like just the mother to some kid, and then she's not really in the movie much?
Right. I'd rather see her during the most interesting parts of her life.
Yeah.
But moving into last week in canon, there was just one new comic that came out this past week. It was Star Wars #6. So when we last left Luke and company, they were fighting battle droids, and they found life-saving clone trooper armor.
Thank goodness.
So they could have a fighting chance, I think is what Han said. They fight their way out, and then they're going back to the planet they just came from because there's like an uprising happening, and they want to assist.
Well, some of them want to assist. Han is like, all right, let's get out of here.
I will say I gave the clone trooper a lot of crap last time, where I was like, since when is clone trooper armor like really protecting it? What clone got shot and said, thank goodness I had this armor on?
Mm-hmm. I guess it's better than nothing.
But I did like having Luke use that as a way to relate to his father.
Yeah.
At this point, we don't know what his relationship is like with Anakin. Like, I don't get the sense they're having Force Ghost visits all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably still searching for ways to connect with the Jedi side of his father.
Yeah, that part was really sweet because you kind of get to see this like inner thought process that he's having, and he's like, I'm gonna jump into this fight with my lightsaber like this, like my dad probably did. That's paraphrasing, but
yeah. But they did have those frames side by side, and I was like, that's a nice touch.
I did really enjoy that, and I think it added to the story in a good way.
Yeah. And I want to walk back some of what I said in the last issue, where I was like, I feel like this is just happening for the vibes. I still think it was mostly happening for the vibes, but it was also a part of Luke and his character and searching for that relationship.
We got a little hide and seek action between Luke and one of the battle droids.
Oh, and he was hiding under the tank.
Yeah.
That's more of a Yoda thing.
Yeah.
I remember that from the Clone Wars.
There were a lot more lines for the battle droids, which is fun, I guess.
Battle droids are always fun.
Yeah.
There was another kind of like Luke saying, I'll hold him off and give you all a chance to escape. And it's like, obviously, Luke's not going to die. They kind of did that again. And this time it was with Valance. And I was like, okay, at least we don't know his fate. But it still was like you'll be fine.
Yeah, you can shoot laser beams out of your hands.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Oh, I also want to point out that I did really like the aesthetics of his clone trooper helmet and his glowing eye in the visor.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool.
That was cool.
Those vibes are good.
We got a couple more scenes with Leia and Mon, and one of them made me chuckle because Mon is kind of like, she's very serious, and she's kind of like, something like, war is at our doorstep again. And I just imagined her saying it like, again!
Yeah, that whenever we read or hear something like that, it reminds me of Shaun of the Dead. The front door is open again! Palpatine returned again!
Poor Mon.
She's been through so much.
She's been through it.
At the end, we find that Leia has a spy, an operative, on this planet with the Nagai Uprising happening. She's a character from Star Wars Uprising, the mobile game, which I'm not super familiar with, but I looked up her name. Although I did think it was kind of strange that I'm like, okay, you're a spy, but you're wearing just a straight-up New Republic uniform. Like, not the best undercover outfit to have on.
You know, Star Wars characters only have one outfit.
I know, yeah. Her spy clothes were dirty.
Yeah.
So she's like, this is all I have.
Or any clothes that would maybe be around are just ugly. She's like,
I'd rather just be obvious.
I'll take my chances, thanks.
Moving on to last week's questions, we took a couple from our Patreon, and speaking of all the Star Wars comics, Dan SW Centralized asks how we feel about all the current ongoing comic series seemingly stopping soon. Sometimes they put out these things called solicits for comics, and you can kind of see how many issues out each series is. I'm not super familiar with the comics industry, but I was looking into it. Legacy of Vader goes up to 11 issues, Jedi Knights goes up to 10, Star Wars goes up to 8, and Aphra only goes up to 5. So we don't know if there's going to be more Aphra after this month. And Star Wars might be wrapping up. And I don't know. It's strange, I think.
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah. It does.
I don't keep up with like how many more issues there are of a thing. So yeah, that is interesting.
I don't usually keep up with it either, but I'll see usually the covers will be revealed or something, or StarWars.com will put something out. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you'll kind of get an idea of where things are headed, but not so much with Aphra especially. I think it's kind of strange that there's only one issue that we know of coming.
There's a chance we'll learn more at New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
About where the state of the comics are going to be going and whether or not we're going to get some new series. I think there's room for some brand new series. Maybe we do some tie-in series with like Skeleton Crew or we do some like sequel trilogy stuff that isn't about Kylo Ren.
I still want my Takarinid comic. I think that would be great.
Sure, yeah. But
yeah, for Aphra, I mean, I will say the two, Aphra and Star Wars, those are the two that I'm not vibing with as much. Aphra has frustrated me. Star Wars has frustrated me. So I'm like, well, if they are going to, I don't know, reboot them again, it might not be the end of the world.
I mean, they've been rebooted a lot. I feel like we need some new stuff.
Yeah, and I know that happens with comics a decent amount. And I think they have been a little more experimental in this current like era of comics, which I do appreciate. It's a lot more variety. You got Jedi Knights, you got Legacy of Vader, and then some stories in between. Mm-hmm. I would like to, and you know, they're not all going to land, and you can try something else experimental. I have been mostly enjoying Jedi Knights. I like Legacy of Vader quite a bit, so I'm happy those two seem like they're going to continue on and have more issues on the way.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying Legacy of Vader, so I'm looking forward to that. When's the next Tales of the Nightlands?
That comes out this month, and then the third comes out next month.
Okay. I know that was just like a 3-issue thing, but I'm still excited for those.
Yeah, it's like Star Wars always has miniseries coming out, but this is the first time it seems like there's a little bit of trepidation around their ongoing series. Like in 2020, we had Star Wars, Dr. Aphra, Darth Vader, and Bounty Hunters. And all 4 of those went for like 5 years.
Sounds like there's not a whole lot more to talk about then.
Right. And people were excited for like Star Wars to go beyond Return of the Jedi, but it seems like they don't quite know what direction they want things to go. So I don't know. I don't know what it means. And like you said, we might at New York Comic Con, I think is next week, we might find out like, and here's the next several arcs for Dr. Aphra Chaos Agent. Who knows?
Yeah, I think we'll find out about some potentially brand new ongoing series. At least that's my hope.
I also wonder if there could be like some big surprises down the line that they wanted to save for New York Comic Con. So they don't want the solicits going out because those can have spoilers in them.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know.
So don't just assume that everything is like ending soon.
Yeah. But I admit that it's strange, and I admit that some of the comics are frustrating me.
I'm just like racking my brain now for some ideas for like new stuff. I mentioned Skeleton Crew. We could do like a holiday special mini series. That could be fun. Or do you think they could do some sort of Cal Kestis comic? Like in the same way that there are adaptation comics for the shows, could they adapt kind of the story of those games into comics?
Well, I think they're doing a manga for Fallen Order.
Oh.
I think they announced that at Celebration. But, I mean, I would love a Cal Kestis in between Fallen Order and Survivor miniseries or series, or as we go towards Star Wars Jedi 3, we're going to talk about that in our next question as well. As we build towards that, a comic that takes place in between and builds up hype for that story.
We could also get something along the same lines as like the Journey 2 series that we got for Force Awakens. We could get some little fun Mando Grogu stories in comics.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did something along those lines.
I'd be down for that.
But speaking of Star Wars Jedi 3, Sarah Black asks if EA's sale means anything for the game. I don't really think so for Star Wars. I don't think it's good news in general, but I don't think it's really going to affect the next Star Wars Jedi game.
I hope not. I think you said the sale stuff isn't going to really take effect for a couple more years.
From what I read, the sale won't be final until 2027. The first game came out in 2019, the second in 2023, 4 years difference. So fingers crossed that by 2027 or around there, the game will be done and put out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that there was something in the contract about like, let us finish these things that we are working on currently, you know, before the new people step in and start changing everything to AI.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with this sale because Saudi Arabia is making the purchase and they're going to take the company from public to private. Jared Kushner is involved. Like, none of it sounds good. And it very much sounds like, have you heard about this whole comedy festival that's going on? Yeah,
where like the comedians that performed there are getting drug through the dirt or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, they took a boatload of money to go perform for a bad regime. And it's kind of like Saudi Arabia is being like, no, we're fun. Like, look at all these comedians making people laugh. Yeah. And this might be part of that. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on all of those politics or about the gaming industry, but coming off the heels of this comedy festival and then being like, also Saudi Arabia is buying EA, it certainly, I guess this is how it would more directly affect Star Wars. I'm not expecting much in the way of Star Wars after Jedi 3.
Not from EA.
Not from EA.
No, and they don't have exclusivity anymore, which is great.
Thank goodness. So, I mean, that was good news before this all happened.
If we can just squeak out with Jedi 3 and have it be good, then it's kind of like, all right, well, as far as Star Wars goes, we might just be done with EA.
Yeah.
And we can all move on.
I think that's likely.
I know EA also does like The Sims and a bunch of other video games, but like we aren't super into those particular games, so I'm sure it will still affect the gaming community heavily.
For sure. I mean, like, The Sims could be a place where Saudi Arabian propaganda gets put. Or like,
The Sims is like notoriously gay. Like, it's got a bunch of fun gay stuff in it, and that's probably going to go away, and that sucks.
Yeah. People have been talking about Mass Effect and BioWare, and they put in their games the ability to have same-sex romances and stuff, and Saudi Arabia probably won't be chill with that.
Yeah, that is not good news. Like, I could see, like, if they take over and just make everything stupid and boring and vanilla, then I could see someone somewhere else like, I'm just going to make my own version of The Sims, and maybe all the gaming community will kind of like flock to something else that's similar, because it'll really be devastating to a lot of people if they just run that game into the ground.
It's also possible that they might sell off some of those, like they could sell The Sims to another studio. Same with BioWare. Who knows what's going to happen?
I'm hesitant to even talk about the gaming industry because I really don't keep up with that stuff very well. Like, I was reading about the sale and I kept reading it and I was like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I can't wrap my brain around it.
Well, it's like the gaming industry is already a mess with layoffs like every other day.
Yeah.
And now this is happening. And like Andrew Wilson's like, we're using AI for our games. It's like, stop. Just everything sounds bad.
But to end on a hopeful note, hopefully, like we said, Jedi 3 is already well into development. Hopefully they've got a story in mind already and they've got a team like solidified, ready to go to finish the game before these other companies come in and start changing things.
Yeah, it's been 2 years since Survivor. I think it's well underway. I'm not concerned with Jedi 3 right now, but you never know. I mean, I don't know what that team looks like. They may have pared it down to 2 people and said, use AI for the rest. And I hope that's not the case. But
yeah, I mean, the whole future of Star Wars gaming is really up in the air because, I mean, Outlaws was fun. A lot of people really loved it, but it didn't do as well as they hoped. A lot of people just like dogpiled on that game for next to no reason when it came out. So who knows what's going to happen next with Star Wars video games.
We've got Zero Company on the way, should be out. I think it's in 2026. So there are some games on the way, and there's, I'm sure, like some non-EA stuff. I think Skydance Studios has a game from Amy Hennig. I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but yeah, I'm glad EA is not the exclusive Star Wars video game creator now. But that's it for last week in Star Wars. Next week, we're going to be covering Beyond Victory, that's a new video game.
Oh, yeah.
Tides of Terror Issue 2 and Hunt for the Falcon Issue 2. Until then, please like this video, subscribe to the channel.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky.
And consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.